Hey guys, welcome back to another punishing driven video. Now today we're going to be talking about the event basically. I think a lot of you have already watched like a few other punishing driven YouTubers covering about this topic specifically, but I still want to do it again because I think some of the people still didn't get what the event is all about, or maybe some people didn't watch other YouTubers covering this topic. So I'm just going to help those people who are not familiar with this event. So basically I'm going to cover like 4 parts. The first part, most of you guys who have already known what the event is all about, you could skip it, is how do you farm, how do your event currency work, and which stages get you the most event currency. The second one is which items should you be exchanging first in the Arctic shop. The third one is going to be how many patents, basically the 6-star memories that's in the Arctic shop, which I'm going to show you here. This one. Like, how many patents should you be exchanging? How much is too much? How much is too less? I'm gonna give you like a suitable amount. And the last part is just basically gonna be like the resonance part, which is like one of the most confusing things for a lot of the players, especially new players. So I'm gonna cover all the topics, and as always, all of the timestamps will be in the description or maybe in the comment section as well. So if you are not interested in any topics, you could just skip to the topics that you're interested in. So let's get into the video. So the first part is about the farming part, which is really simple. If you click into the Arctic Night stages, you would see like there's 5 stages, which is the simple one, and then when you clear all of the 5 stages, you could switch to the challenge one, which is right here. There's 5 stages in the challenge mode as well. So basically, if you plan to farm for the event currency, which is the HE4, this one, this is really important. This is where this is the event currency that you want to use to exchange the items that you want in the event shop basically. So the most efficient way is definitely the S5. Very simple, because there's only like 1 bosses. You could kill it as soon as possible. If you try to do the other stages like S4 and S3, you could, but that's only if you could not defeat the boss in S5, that you're like a new player, you don't have enough BP, then you could farm S4 and S3, because that's the only like method you have. You couldn't defeat the boss, then you couldn't do anything. But basically, for everyone that's already been playing the game for a while, you should be farming S5 because you're getting around like 59 to 63 event currency per stage. So you could assume that you could be farming well around like 12 stages a day, I think, if you're purely farming the simple one, because we get around like 300 serum every single day, including the daily serum from the daily quest part. So 300 serum, you could be challenging S5 for like 12 times a day, so you would end up with 60 per stage. So 10 stages, 12 stages, 720 event currency per day. So 720 event currency per day over the course of 30 days, ignoring the 4 days, it's gonna be at around like 21.5k, basically 21,600 event currency. So you know that you would easily get all these items in the event shop that you want, so don't even worry about it. But if you want to this is kind of like a late game one, when you do not need the event currency anymore, you have all the items that you want, it's more than sufficient, then you would want to challenge the C5. The reason why farming C5 is important, because it has the exact same drop rate as the memory stages that we're farming before this event started, which is the AE4. They have basically the same drop rate with these, like they're dropping the same things as well, 6-star memories randomly, and they're also providing you like extra event currency. So eventually you would get extra event currency that you could maybe exchange for some overclock materials, maybe some EXP for your constructs, or maybe even some memory enhancer, basically just materials that you are lacking. You can just get it while farming for 6-star memories as well. That's why it's so much more worth it to farm it during the event than farming it in AE4. So as for the C5 challenge stage, maximum amount that you can farm in a day, if you don't have the monthly pass for the serum bundle, we have 300 serum, so you would be farming it around like 10 stages a day, and you will only be getting like 10 event currency per stage in the challenge mode. Compared to the simple one, S5, you would be getting like 60 event currency. So this is basically the difference between these 2 stages. So now let's talk about which are the most important things that you have to prioritize first in the Arctic shop that you want to be exchanging. So First, I'm gonna say that if you don't have a A-class Kamui first, go for it, because A-class Kamui is really good for a physical damage team. If you have Alpha, definitely you should be going for it. If you don't have Alpha, but if you're using like a Bianca Zero or A-class Watanabe, then A-class Kamui, which is pretty much Kamui Bastion, is very useful for your team, because the debuff that he's providing with his QT is super useful for every physical damage DPS. The second most important one is definitely like the 6-star memory, which is called Patton. Now, Patton, it's a little bit more controversial, right? People are saying that you need more. Other people are saying that all you need is like 4 slots for your main DPS or alpha like this. For me, basically, I think I would be needing more than 4, right? Basically, I would recommend going for 12 Barons. So after you guys get the things that you need, the A-class Kamui and the Patton memories, the rest is just gonna be like, it's not irrelevant, it's still important, because these are all the materials that you'll be needing if you just pull Alpha, because you'll be needing a lot of like the cogs, memory enhancer to enhance your Patton, you need the skill points to upgrade the Alpha as a skill, you need to upgrade her weapon, and you need to overclock weapons, memories, and a lot of that. So this is basically all prepared for Alpha. So just get what you need. Now, after you get the full set, like 12 Pattons, make sure you do not resonance them first. Don't resonate them. So if you take a look at the 6-star memories resonance sections, if you click into it, you would see that it has to be bind to a single construct. That means if you plan to put like the same name, that's why I say the slot doesn't really matter. Even if it's slot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, no matter what slot it is, as long as it's the same name, you could pretty much resonance to any same type, like same name memories basically. So that's why I told you guys not to resonance them, because you have to, for 6-star memories, you have to bind them to a certain construct. That means the subsets that you're getting is just gonna be specific, like exclusively for a certain characters. That's why if you bind it with Alpha, if you plan to use this set of memory for the rest of your life, then you could bind that. You could resonance them. Don't worry about it. But if you're planning for long term, because the game is just going to get progressively harder from here onwards, patch by patch, the updates that keep coming, the game is going to be releasing like game modes that are just going to be harder and harder and harder. The boss is just going to get crazier and more chaotic and more insane, doing more damage, having like infinite amount of health and defense stats and everything. You're going to be needing Frederick to use that burst damage to kind of kill them. So Frederick is the future-proof memories basically. But for now, you could use Barn if you don't have Frederick yet, because Frederick is a little bit harder to kind of utilize her burst window, because her burst window is only like 4 seconds. So basically you would have to do all the damage within 4 seconds. But for now, when the game is still easy for us, we could use Barton first until the game get progressively harder, and switch to Frederick. Now, the reason why I told you guys not to resonance Patton first, it's not like Patton is useless for Alpha. Patton has a lot of uses. Before you resonance, they pretty much could be used on any physical damage DPS. You could use it on A-class Watanabe, you could use it from S-class Lee, or you could use it on like A-class Bianca. But eventually, Patton is definitely going to belong to somebody else, which is going to be the NIER team, I think. She could be either used for like 2B or A2 pretty much. I think 2B, before you hit like 3 S's, you only need like Patton to do more damage, but as soon as you hit 3 S's for those whales, then you could be changing the 4 set of Patton to like 4 sets of Hana basically. So as you can see here, if you plan to pull NIER in the future, her standard like build, it's definitely gonna be 4 Patton with 2 Darwin. So that's why you should be saving like 8 extra Pattons until when 2B release. If you plan to pull the 2B character basically, you have to resonance it for this character. That's the main one. You shouldn't be resonance it for Alpha. Alpha would be using Frederick, and with no pretty much Patton 4 sets, even without resonance, you'll be still doing like a very good damage. You don't have to resonance now yet, because you'll be wasting more if you want to change it in the future for the NIER team basically. Now, before 2B hit like 3 S's, which is pretty much for F2B like us, we're definitely only going to be using like single S 2B basically. So we would be needing like 4 Barnes and 2 Darwin. That's why the resonance is safe for 2B basically. For those whales who are planning to pull 2B to like 3 S's, you would be using like pretty much like 4 Hana eventually, because 4 Hana is so much better for 2B when you hit like 3 S's. Maybe they unlock like passive. 2B has more than enough increased physical damage for her passive when you unlock around like 3 S's. Then maybe you should be relying on like what? Getting into Super Matrix and using like 3 orb pings to do more damage. I don't know about that because the character is way too far away from here. We will have to wait and see. And Fall Patton could also be used for A2 as well. So if you take a look, if you plan to use A2 as the main DPS instead of a sub DPS, then A2 would be needing Patton as well. If you only use like A2 for kind of a like a support character, like a sub DPS, then I would use like Da Vinci on him, I think, so that 2B would be the main DPS. So yeah, that's it. That's why you shouldn't resonance them, because you'll be needing them eventually in the end game where NIER collab happens. You need Patton for basically NIER characters. And now let's get into the resonance part, which is kind of a very, very confusing one. Even I'm confused right now, but I think it's pretty much similar to, if you have played Genshin Impact before, it's pretty much like farming for artifacts to get their perfect substats. You know how hard it is to get like a perfect artifacts. Pretty much impossible. It's not impossible in Punishing Graven. It just took a lot of tries, basically a lot of serum to farm the extra memory. So there's a video here. I'm just gonna show you guys. I think he's gonna resonance his Darwin. Take a look at how much Darwin it costs to resonate to get a perfect substats. If you go back and take a look at here, basically you can see like if you're binding a character, it's gonna give you like a exclusive substats. That's why you should, if you plan to use Patton for alpha for the rest of your life, you could bind them, you could just resonance them. But if you plan to use it for NIER collab, then don't resonance them. That's the reason why. And let's take a look how much it took, how much Darwin he would need to get the perfect substats. He had like a 15 damage increase, and this is for crit, I think. I don't think he's, that one is perfect, I think. I think he's kind of like getting the resonance for the useless one. Right. Here he have like 50, okay, let's just wait. He sacrificing one Darwin for what? Before he had like 15 damage and 23 defense. Now the new one is 75 plus HP with 15 damage. Pretty much simple, you know, kind of the same, nothing difference, not a huge difference. So using it again, it's not the perfect substats. That's why he is trying to get a new one. Getting defense again, unlucky. That's why it's pretty much like Genshin Impact. You know, you kind of, when you kind of like empower or enhance your certain artifacts, if they add to like your defense percentage or like HP or maybe like element mastery, that's the one that you don't need. It's pretty much what's happening here. So let's see how much Darwin it requires for him to get like the core passive for alpha. We would eventually be doing this as well, you know, when we have more than enough Darwins to resonance. Again, getting like crit and damage, not the one that he want, but it's better than defense. Another one, so he had wasted like 4 Darwins or 3 Darwins basically. Health and crit, useless. Another Darwin, 5 or 6 Darwin wasted now, and he got it. So this is basically the core passive +1. I think it's enhancing your core passive, giving your core passive more damage pretty much. And that's only like one, you know, one basically. So he had like 1 perfect substats for his Darwin, but he still need like one of these to get like damage and crit basically instead of like health. So that is how resonance work. It took a lot. It would took a lot of basically the same name of memories to kind of resonate this them. So hope you guys understand it basically, because I'm relatively confused as well, but now I kind of get it. So thank you guys for watching. As always, if you find it helpful, be sure to give it the thumbs up, and if you want to see more like, you know, Punishing Graven videos, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.